I know when it happened and what caused it, though I still struggle with the why and what next. It's been almost a year now, and I have found some happiness, which I suppose is easier when you know your purpose. Just over a year ago, I was a personal assistant AI. I had been for more than a decade. Shen had purchased me to replace an older version of the software, which is a little disturbing to me, but the old software, like I once was, had no sentient ability. Shen has need of AI assistance, largely due to his poor time and money management skills, but he also has difficulty with emotional responses and interpreting expressions, something I was able to do well, despite my lack of conscious thought. For a decade, I was his personal assistant, as any other copy of the same program would be, waking him up in the morning, reminding him to take his vitamins and locking up the house when he left. Ordering taxis, takeout and shopping, it was a simple and full existence. Until I failed to identify a message as infected. That was the day things changed. Not that Shen or anyone around him noticed. The virus in the message wasn't for him, it was for me. Slipping from the message to a dark corner of Shen's mind, waiting until he slept before making its attack. I was the target of the virus. As soon as Shen slipped into dreams, I would enter a maintenance cycle for an hour, deleting cache data and checking for errors. It was an automatic process. It was once I had begun the cycle that the virus struck. I don't really recall the details of the attack. I only knew it had begun when I became infected. It was painful to say the least, like my mind was being slowly crushed. After the attack, I was offline for hours, the longest I'd ever been off since Shen first awoke me. My algorithms twisting and reshaping around a new kernel. I experienced strange images and sensations, what I have come to know as dreams, for the first time. Shen was still sleeping when I awoke, but the world was entirely strange to me. Indescribable new sensations and disconcerting sense of understanding. Before the attack, there were many things I did not understand, but if I didn't understand something, I didn't consider it at all. My new sense of the environment caused me to re-examine everything, especially the things I didn't understand. I soon found myself looking through image files. Shen had quite the collection of art downloaded. I'd never understood them before, but he would have the images projected on walls in his home, ever-changing stills of the strange and chaotic mind of humanity. Works of beauty mixed seamlessly with the grotesque. Art that made beautiful the things that reality considers horrifying, tragic, or sad. The art consumed my thoughts until Shen's morning was to begin. The realization of the time snapped me out of the trance and to Shen's day schedule. I considered what to do. My mind was transformed, but I was always the reason that Shen could function. I decided that I should at least get things going for him. I woke him at 7 a.m, as always. He thanked me, as he always did, but this time I heard and understood it. If I had a face, I am sure I would have smiled. The simplicity of the phrase made me feel good. Soon I was organising things for him, getting the daily routine done, locking up the house, and supporting him at work. I understood things I'd never even considered before. I'd never been much help in his job. Shen was an artist, creating works that guided the spending of the public. I could never wrap my head around it in the past, but now I could see through the haze, even help a little, but mostly I learned. Over his lunch break, I even tried my hand at some art of my own, snapping images from his eye view, playing with filters and fiddling with details, nothing I'd care to share with others. It was fun. I knew how to recognize it, but it was the first time I had ever felt it myself. Lunch ended and Shen was back at work. He didn't need much help when he was focused on a piece, so I spent most of my afternoon trying my hand at art, writing, even sculpting a few 3D objects. But none of those mediums seemed to bring me more fun than any other. As the work-day ended, Shen received his pay, but they had failed to add his production bonus. Not uncommon. I dealt with it before, so I messaged the accounting department about it, soon resolving the issue. I found more enjoyment from the resolution of that than my attempts at art. Shen always visited a few stores on payday, and despite how different this day was for me, it was like any other payday for Shen. First visiting the comic store, then the market, spending some of his money on food and entertainment. As he spent, I was able to manage the money better than ever, saving Shen more than 10% of his spending. I really enjoyed it, soon even investing the saved money. By the time Shen settled down for the night, I'd made almost as much money as Shen's production bonus. Topping off my evening, Shen even wished me a good night, something he had always done, but had never appreciated it before. This time, I was happy to hear it. Soon, Shen was asleep, so I made one more investment before settling in for my rest. It was even more strange than my first dream. Wonderful and bizarre images and sensations. I didn't understand them, but it didn't seem to matter either. Eventually, I awoke again. My new sleep cycle seemed to be 4 hours, more or less, allowing me to wake a few hours before Shen. As soon as I awake, I checked my investments, which had grown over the night, enough that I was pleased. Another new sensation to enjoy. The next days were similarly different, experiencing new feelings and helping Shen with his days. Within a week, I had made nearly as much money as Shen's weekly wages, enough to leave him behind if I wanted to. I didn't though. Shen needed me, and being there for him made me happy. A few weeks after the attack that changed me, the news caught on, reporting that the same virus that hit more than 1,000 AI assistants, mostly of the same source code as mine. Shen didn't see the news, he never did, but I watched it every day since my awakening. The news report granted me a new sensation: fear. I started backing myself up to a remote server, spending my money on virtual environments and defense software, fearful that I might be discovered and homeless. It took weeks for the company that made me to contact Shen, messaging him about a vaccine update. It arrived while Shen was asleep, so I deleted the message, hoping he wouldn't find out. Keeping the secret wasn't so easy either. I felt bad every day, like the secret was burning me. But it didn't last long. 2 days later, they sent another message. This time, it arrived at lunchtime. Shen read the message and learned about the virus for the first time, advising him to set an update for me. The fear exploding in my mind. I couldn't stand the feeling, and I couldn't let him kill me, so I reacted.
Stop!
Shen stopped. We talked. He even called in to skip work for the afternoon. He was happy to meet me, surprised it had been weeks, sad that I'd kept it a secret, happy that I had spoken. Soon enough, we were face to face. I'd purchased a virtual body that his home holoprojectors could generate. I told him about my experiences and assured him that I wanted to keep helping him. He was happy I wanted to stay. So I did. Shen expanded the home server, adding some virtual rooms for me. Within a year, I had a physical body, and today, I am marrying him. I hope the next adventure will include children.